Hi, how are you? My name is Jenny. I am so excited to make this intro video, introduce myself, and share with you things that I can't wait to jump in with you on. A couple months ago, I started to create accounts on a couple social media platforms called Unfiltered Jeni. And I really just sought God out and asked Him to guide and direct my steps, first off. And then I recently been asking God to act through me. Lord, act through me. Help me just do better in the things that you've really called me to do and to be. And so, Unfiltered Jeni started with when I signed up as an influencer with Pharmacy, which is a clean skincare, makeup, and nutrition company. They utilize they're based in the European Union. So, and everything is formulated in Turkey, but it ships out of in the United States. Everything is distributed from Miami, Florida. So, super excited to just be transparent and vulnerable and honest with you about my experiences in life, experiences with products, what I love, what I'm kind of feel like I'm being pulled in, and just everything in life. So that is how Unfiltered Jeni started. I had no intentions to sell the products. I have been in multi-level marketing and a CEO, I would say since about 2015, maybe shortly right before that, and then became a CEO of several businesses since 2021. So here we go. We're jumping in. I feel like I'm new as an influencer. I feel like as a CEO, there were products I wanted to share and experiences that I've been through as a business owner. There's just not like the right place to do it. And I would try things out and it wasn't working the way I feel like God was calling me to run my business. And so I kind of put that on hold and said, okay, like, if there's a space that I'm supposed to be doing this in, let me know because I want to be able to do that. So, Unfiltered Jeni, like I may have mentioned, is me sharing products that I love that I've had experiences with, maybe products that I haven't been so eager to use, and finding other things as those replacements. Wanting to share experiences in life with you because I feel like there's so much education in being able to learn from someone else. So we'll dive into that a little bit here. And then, like I said, products. This channel is going to be full of a ton of my experience with Laurel Denise. I fell in love with her planner back in the beginning of 2024, and we were in the process of moving from Phoenix to Omaha. And I then added on a couple others, and there was just a huge transition. We moved, we thought we had this house, we didn't. Anyways, so at the time I was using, I believe, the Nancy format. This is the Scout, and I'm definitely a vertical girl, and I will show you just an example here, real quick. So this is what it looks like. Peek. Here we go. So you have your entire month layout as you're planning your weeks, which is incredible. So at the time, I was very new to Laurel Denise, never heard about her. I think I'd seen an ad on Instagram, to be honest, when I was looking up planners for business owners, planners for CEOs, planners for boutiques, planners for card makers, all the things. And I believe this format actually existed at the time, but I don't know why I went with the other format. And to be honest, I feel like this format fits me because of how my brain works. And you want to know the other thing? This is also why I need space like this. And to be honest, for the last year, I've been making my own planner because what I needed as a CEO and as a business owner and as having people under me that help and volunteer within Be Tactile and at home, I just didn't have what worked. These are the sticky notes. These are more of a neutral. So we will get into how I'm using these too. And then, of course, I had to go all in when I came back to Laurel Denise and I got this awesome pen case. You're thinking, well, that looks a little familiar because it matches the planner. How cool is that? So when I get super excited and geeked out about stuff, you're going to just see the excitement. I love to share what's working for me in life and what is not working for me in life. So we'll get all into Laurel Denise and planning, but I cannot wait to jump into planning and talk weekly threads of what I've loved and what, you know what, it just didn't happen this week. And to be honest, this last week, I've been dealing with some pollen allergies. And so, my planner this last week, it has tasks, but not a lot got done. So, a few things I do want to share. I'm super excited to be able to share my faith with you as we walk through this journey together. My faith has been so impactful and so big when I show up and walk with God. Now, there have been times, of course, that I've stumbled and fallen, but the ability to choose to walk with God, even in the hard points, the hard moments in life, has been so big. The other experience that I am going to share with from time to time is being a birth mom. I placed, when I had my youngin about 16 years ago, he was placed in an open adoption. It was something that I chose, and we've had a journey. Our families, when I talk about families, I'm talking about birth family and adoption family. We've been through some stuff. And so I feel like no one really talks about their experiences. Now, there is some vulnerability in people that had to be protected. So I may not always go into full detail. If you would like to have a conversation, I'm open to you commenting or contacting me to have a further conversation. But I may politely say, you know what, that's not really, I can't really share that. So super excited to be able to do that because it's just, there have been so many ups and downs, and that's hard. And we chose an open adoption, both birth family and adoptive family, because that's really important as a kiddo grows up and wants to know, like, oh, did my birth parent like this, or did they do this, or why, my adoptive family, they're amazing and I love them and they're so supportive and I'm so grateful for them. But, sometimes stuff just doesn't make sense, and adopted children need those answers just like we do. And so super excited to be able to share more of that. And then I'm a medical overcomer. It drives me crazy as a believer when you hear someone say, oh, I'm a brain injury survivor, or I'm a cancer survivor. You did so much more than survive, because you're an overcomer. You're thriving. God has called you to better. You're still on this earth, which means you have a new perspective on your life. Life has changed because of overcoming that scenario. I'm a medical anomaly overcomer as I continue to walk through it. That's one of the reasons our family moved back to Omaha, or Bellevue, really, from Phoenix, Arizona, because there's some things that we'll get into and we'll talk about, and things just didn't make sense. And so we had to do better. We had to figure out how my life could just be even a smaller percent better. So use the word overcomer. Don't use the word survivor. You're so much more. The other thing I'm super excited to talk to you about is being a CEO life. The things that the ins and outs of being a CEO and what that looks like in my journey, along with my medical journey, and how all of that is very much combined. There is a program and a business that I started called Be Tactile, and God very much qualified me and called me to lead the blind community to make paper greeting cards for the very first time. I very much in the beginning was like, no, I've got this medical thing going on. I'm okay. Thanks, God. No, Holy Spirit, I don't want to do that. And he just continued to nudge me and to continue to download this entire program that we now have for Be Tactile, which is incredible. So we'll get into that and how Be Tactile started. And maybe we'll have a one-on-one with someone from the blind community that I've known since all of this started, and they can share their experiences when they got to know me and heard about Be Tactile getting started. I've never been considered low vision or blind. When I walked through my brain injury, I did struggle at the moment with visual processing, with how my brain was transmitting what my eyes were seeing and like the time and response time with that. So again, I that's the closest thing to being blind, if you will. And so I don't consider that being blind because that is how my brain from the brain injury was transmitting information. So I had no experience and I'm like, Lord, like I don't know anything. How am I going to create a program that's very tactile for people with no experience? So welcome to Unfiltered Jeni. I am so excited to get this started with you and share and just be vulnerable with you and connect with you. So stick around. We will see you soon and have a great day. Maybe I'll see you later today.